This is going to be so much fun. Today I get to shoot all the H&N in the Hunter pellet versions, as well as the dark horse in the packet, the Slugs. Admittedly, the Slugs aren't built for sub 12 foot-pound, they actually need a lot more speed, but I'm going to throw them through the gun just to see what they're going to do. Hold on to your hats. Welcome to part 2 of the H&N series. So this time we're going to look at all the hunting pellets that are available in the market. So first up, I'm going to shoot the Barracuda Hunters. I'll put a close-up of the pellet just now. And this is the one that looks basically like a hollow point. Now unfortunately, because you've got so little lead to work with in a .177, the hollow point can't be extremely deep. I'll give you guys a close-up just now. But at least it's something different. 10.49 grain. Going to shoot them through 3 different guns to make sure that we get the best accuracy out of it, and also see what the differences are between the different speeds in .177. Alright, so today's video is all about sub 12 foot-pound. These are .177s, and I think that's enough chit chat. If you want more information, go back to the previous video. You'll get all the data there. Let's do some shooting. La 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 la. Oh man, that was starting to be such a good grouping until I pulled one right, and then the last shot, that might have been me. I have to go and look at the video, but let's measure it up and give you guys the results. This was the Barracuda Hunters. Next up, the Barracuda Hunter Extremes. The Hunter Extremes ran a little bit slow, but they are 10.49 grain. You couldn't expect that from a sub 12 foot-pound gun. The groupings were quite respectable. I actually loved some of those groupings until the idiot behind the gun made a few errors. I can easily take these guys out to any pest control scenario at 30 meters. I will get my target. Alright, next up, Barracuda Hunter Extremes. Now this little baby looks like somebody hit it with a Phillips screwdriver in the front. It's supposed to expand lacquer on impact, so let's have a look. Now that I can't explain. 2 HWs, slightly different speed. The one loves them, the other one absolutely hates them, all over the place. Let's try the air arms. Not bad. I'm actually quite surprised. In the 5.5 I couldn't get the same groupings I just did with a .17777 ad infinitum. So I think final measurements will tell us, but at this stage, from sitting down here 30 meters down range, I can't decide which one is best between the two. Both of them look very promising. The one didn't want to go out of the 1 HW at all, so it might be that they're slightly barrel fussy. The air arms was shooting just about everything fine, so the air arms obviously is not barrel fussy, but it looks like my 1 HW is quite pellet fussy, so I'll have to go and experiment a little bit more with that and see what's going on with that little barrel over there. So let's measure up, give you guys the results. Sometimes guns are like females, they only like certain stuff. So my HW2 looks like it's extremely pellet fussy, and I've got lots of pellets to test, so eventually I will find something that loves that barrel. HW number 1 and the Air Arms HFT 500, they enjoyed these pellets so much. At 30 meters, I'll go hunting with these guys any day. So let's move on to the next one. Now we get to the fun stuff. I've been looking so forward to shooting these things, and it's just like a boy with a new toy. So first up, I'm going to shoot the Terminator. First and foremost, that brings back memories of movies way back in the day. I'll be back. So with Terminator, I'll be back. Alright, so the Terminator is in a 7.25 grain, slightly lighter than the rest of the hunting pellets, but nonetheless, looks like fun. I sure hope these babies group, because it just looks like fun shooting them. The Terminator, I'll be back. That's just fun. I don't know why. It's just fun shooting these little babies. Terminator. The difference between the Terminator, he says, I'll be back. With me, with the age, the only thing I can say is, oh my back. Alright, let's go measure up, give you guys the results. The Terminator at 7.25 grain, a lot lighter than the actual movie character. They grouped exceptionally well. I didn't expect it from them, and they zipped through the air the fastest of all the hunting pellets. I got some really decent groupings here, and not too bad. Not too bad at all. I think I can use them. I don't know about you guys. Let's see what the next bunch gives us. So what is it with boys and shiny stuff? I don't have the answer. All I know is I like it too. Right, so immediately I'm a boy. So this is the Hornet. It's got a nice little, I nearly said a horny point, no, a sharp point in front of copper. It is made to fit rotary magazines. But one thing you need to be very careful of is to make sure that the points don't stick out in front, because the moment you load it in there, you're going to blunt that point a little bit or even bend it, which will have an impact. So just make sure when you load your magazine that it's nice and tight in there. And then obviously, let's see what they do from an accuracy perspective. The Hornet would probably sting like a bee, and these guys are 9.57 grain. That was almost the perfect grouping until I had one slightly high, one slightly to the left. But I'm genuinely surprised at the accuracy. I did not expect this from these guys. Alright, let's test the other guns. Alright, looks like I finally found a pellet that the Air Arms doesn't like. Let's go measure up and give you guys the results on that. But it was still fun shooting them, let's be honest. Hey, Hornet, sting like a bee. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Sitting here in my tiny dungeon, looking at the results, I realized that I'm a hypocrite. This was some excellent groupings. Doing any type of ratting or pest controlling at 30 meters, these little Hornets will sting like a bee. I'm not at all disappointed. Instead, I'm actually surprised. I did not expect these guys to be so accurate. Wow, let's go Hornets! Alright, we're nearing the end of today's session. I've got 2 babies left. The one is the Crow Magnum in 8.8 grains. So this is basically, it's not a hollow point as per se, but it is a hollow point, let's be honest about it. But what they did is they made the hollow, the gap in the front just wider. Alright, so there's less lead on the sides of it. The idea behind it is probably expansion. So after today, I'll probably have to buy some extra clay and do some expansion tests with these babies because my curiosity has been piqued and I need to find out what the whole fuss is about. Alright, so without further ado, let's get them through the guns. No. Alright, I don't think I need to measure any of that. If I look at the crows, no. I think that the cavity in the front is just too big. It buggers up the BC in totality. If I look at that versus the smaller hollow point of the Hunter is awesome. Really, the Hunter is impressing me so much that I thought that the Hunter Extreme won't be far off, but this is like chalk and cheese. Unfortunately, this one won't go through my guns. Let's go and measure up, if I really have to. Really? Okay, no, let's be honest. Let's go and measure up, give you guys the exact facts, and then we go on to our last little baby, and this is the surprise of the day. Let's go and have a look. So this is what happens when you get spoiled by super accuracy. Up to now, all the H&Ns, every single one of them surprised me with their accuracy. And then came the crows. And this is not the counting crows, because you won't be counting a lot of crows. At 30 meters, probably not that bad, but as I said, I'm spoiled with the other H&N shooting so darn accurate that this is a bit of a disappointment. Sorry crows. Please leave me a comment if you have had better results with the crows. Maybe it's just my guns, maybe it's just the South African air. So please feel free, leave a comment and let's see what the other guys think about the crows. Alright, I've been waiting for this one for a while. So last up, 0.177 slugs. Now personally I've never shot slugs at this caliber before, so this is going to be quite interesting. The one thing that was quite weird is the size and the weight says it's on the bottom, but the tin that I got didn't have anything on the bottom, so it might have been that. So I had to go and actually weigh them, and the one that I only weighed one, so the first one out of the tin weighed in at 14 grain, so they're gonna run slow out of my guns. The second thing that's quite interesting is that in a normal pellet holder like this with the HW100, they don't have that little necky in front like a normal pellet has that grabs onto the O-ring that's on the outside. So I had to push them a little bit deeper. The next thing on this is, look at how tiny these guys are. Oh my greatness, there's the first one gone. Look at how tiny they are. They look like mouse enemas. Oh, sorry guys. But they are extremely small. Small little hollow point in the front, solid little looking thing at the back. They are extremely lubricated, so I'll have to clean the guns after that. I do expect that the guns will take 4 or 5 shots just to settle with this lubricant as well. So the first 7 shots basically is just going to be sighters at this stage because I have to figure out the height and everything. But I've been looking so forward to this. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm like a child. Alright, let's stop right there. I was aiming 4 mil dots high on the top target, but the weight difference from 14 grains 8 to 14 grains is a massive difference on this gun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I can double my mil dots, and now I'm going to go for the top target. First one is just going to be basically a sighter to see if I've got my mull-offs right, and then we're going to hit them. Alright, my first observation out of this is that the slug is way too slow out of the gun. Yeah, I can't even see what the reading was, but I'll have a look just now. I didn't even record it. The slug was way too slow. Now I know that my FX Chrony can not measure anything slower than 590 feet a second. So I've got a funny feeling that that was slower than 590 feet a second. So I'll have to get a different Chrony to look at that. Because of the slow speed, these things didn't stabilize. They were swirling around like that before they hit the target. The grouping is probably not that bad, but it's scary if you can actually see the slug fly. So it's extremely slow out of the gun. Initial thoughts before I go to the other guns is that these babies need to be shot out of a higher speed gun. I don't know if they'll be 100% correct for sub 12 foot-pound. I will see if I can't get go to Patriot later in the week and see if they've got a 177 in high power that I can use. I hope they've got one for me. I don't know if they're going to borrow it to me, so that's another one, but I'm going to try. Let's go on to the next one. Well, that's not too bad. There's 5 of them quite close together. The last one was, second last one was a little bit high. They didn't spire as much with this gun than with the others, but I still think they need a little bit more speed. Sub 12 foot-pound's not going to push these babies fast enough, not out of my guns in any case, to make a real difference. Time to measure up, give you guys the results. I'm slightly disappointed. He didn't even pick up on my Chrony, so probably slower than 590 feet per second, which is unfortunate. I would have loved to have a look at those speeds, but time to go and borrow a gun from somebody that can shoot them a little bit faster, because I'm still intrigued. The slug still puzzles me at this stage. Alright, so from this side, last measurement, then I'll give you guys a conclusion, and then we're done. So next week, watch out, I'm going to do the JSBs in different weights. I've got 4 different weights. I've got the air arms in another weight. I'm trying to get hold of some .177 Hades as well. If I can get hold of that, I'll throw that into the mix. And then we can do a comparison across the different brands. So today I did H&N. Next time round, we'll do the whole caboodle. Right, time to go measure up.
I think these slugs shows a heck of a lot of promise. I would have loved to shoot them out of a high power gun. The tin is clearly marked high power. They are not built for sub 12 foot-pounds. So that is the lesson again today. Shoot what the tin tells you to do. Alright, now, this was a lot of fun. I saw some interesting groupings out there. There's a lot of possibilities within these slugs. Time to beg and borrow and see if I can get a high power gun in .177. But before we go there, we have to declare a winner on the day. This was a lot closer than anticipated. So in 4th place, we've got the Hornet. Lekker, you golden pointed beast. In the 3rd place was the Hunter Extremes. In the 2nd place, believe it or not, ta-da! I'll be back. It's the Terminator. And then our winner on the day is the Barracuda Hunters. Well done, you beaut. See you guys next time.
That's all, folks.